The mechanical properties of the materials are determined in the laboratory by performing tests on small specimens of the material in material testing laboratory. The most common material test is tension test, which is performed on the universal testing machine or tensile testing machine. It is performed on a cylindrical specimen of the material with the grips provided on both the ends, like the one which is shown here, and the test procedure is clearly explained in virtual lab of NIT Surathkal. For your reference, I am providing that link here in the description. When a specimen of a ductile material like steel is subjected to a gradual pull in a tensile testing machine, it is found that resulting strain is proportional to the corresponding stress up to certain point only. Beyond that, the relation is nonlinear. The relation between the stress and the corresponding strain is usually represented graphically by means of a stress-strain diagram or tensile test diagram for different materials. If we see the stress-strain diagram for mild steel, which is subjected to tension in a tensile testing machine, the strain is plotted along the horizontal axis, while the stress is plotted on the vertical axis. With the application of the gradual loading, the diagram begins from 0 with a straight line up to the point A, in which the stress and strain relationship is linear. Here, the stress is directly proportional to strain. The region starting from 0 to A is known as linear region, and the point A is marked as limit of proportionality or proportionality limit. If we calculate the slope of this line, it will give the value of elastic modulus or Young's modulus. On further increase of the load beyond A, the curve becomes slightly curved up to the point B, where the elastic limit of the member is reached. This region AB is nonlinear and the stress is not proportional to strain. However, up to this point B, the removal of load would result in complete recovery of the specimen to its original shape. The region under this curve from 0 to B is termed as elastic region, and the point B is marked as elastic limit. With the further increase in the load from B, yielding takes place in the member. So the point immediately next to the B, which is almost coinciding with the B, will be taken as yield stress point. From B, the curve suddenly drops to C and it will goes on continuously up to point D without any further increase in the stress. This region is termed as perfectly plastic or plastic yielding region. There is no noticeable increase in stress in this region, which means it can be deformed without any increase in the load. If the load is further increased, the steel begins to strain harden. Due to this strain hardening, the material appears to regain some of its strength and offers more resistance. This is because the material undergoes changes in its atomic and crystalline structure of the strain hardening region. With the further increase in the load, the point E of the maximum load or ultimate stress is reached. Up to the maximum load, the bar extends uniformly over its parallel length. But if straining is continued, a local reduction in the cross section occurs till the failure or rupture of the material takes place, which is at the point F. This zone from E to F is called as necking zone. So here what we seen is engineering stress or normal stress of the material, where the stress is force per cross-sectional area. For engineering stress calculations, the initial area of the specimen will only taken till the failure. But we know in the actual case necking is happening. So the diagram for real or true stress strain curve, if we draw it, it will differ from this engineering stress strain curve, like the dotted one which is shown here. So this is the general stress strain diagram for a mild steel member subjected in tension test. We will see some important mechanical properties of the materials associated with this stress strain diagram and other properties in the next class. See you in next class.